Hey, what's up, everyone? I never paid as much attention to the obvious hints at the ME phenomenon and reality shifting phenomenon in Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. Now, if you have not checked this out, they experience a lot of paranormal and supernatural things, as is commonly accompanied with Scooby-Doo and associated with the show in general. But this one particular episode that I started watching on Netflix caught my attention. Now, I've watched the whole series before, but it's been years. Around 2012, when the whole phenomenon began, you felt this awakening happening. And they put these messages in this Scooby-Doo series. Now, at the end of the series, they switch over to a completely different reality. And there's a whole CERN-type situation happening. There's an actual portal being built underground on this Scooby-Doo series. And they don't know it. And the planispheric disc and all of this comes together and creates, and it can make this harmonizing music. It gives different coordinates, all kinds of things. And they kind of give hints that you're a slave to the system. You're a slave to this reality or whatever. Your mind is a slave. Look right there. Es Yahweh. Now, Es Yahweh translates on there, you'll see on the words, to Susan Yahweh, or slave. And that's the hint they gave. Slave. And watch what happens next. I want you to check out the ending scene of this episode. And Scooby-Doo's girlfriend in the series is called Nova. Her name is Nova. And that's an interesting name as well. And he says it feels like something bad is about to happen, or something big is about to happen. And this scene always, even though it's a cartoon, it still gives me chills when she wakes up and says Nibiru. Because it's deeply related. They put these things into this cartoon, into Scooby-Doo, and I felt it very strongly when this series was going on. I felt a connection, like, man, they're putting something that's happening. But then when 2012, the December 21st date came around, and I heard a lot of things when that date happened outside at night. Some things that night I was like, man, I wish I hadn't heard. But it happened. But listen to this scene on Scooby-Doo. Are they hinting at something? Were they telling people about the awakening? And if you look at how it's almost like there's a huge CERN underneath Crystal Cove, the town that they're set in on this show. And interestingly, Shaggy has my last name, by the way. It's really interesting how they then, at the end of the series, they switch realities. I don't want to spoil anything in case you haven't watched the series, but they switch realities and they move into another reality and start over. And it's a completely different universe. So let me show you this scene really quickly. I hope I don't get in trouble for copyright. I'll try to put a copyright disclaimer in the description below. But check out this scene. Check it out. Sorry about all the movement. Check out this scene, and Scooby-Doo says it feels like something is about to happen, and that nothing makes any sense anymore. Think about the ME. Nothing makes sense anymore. Reality around us doesn't make sense anymore. And then she says Nibiru. Check it out. It's like prophecy in a cartoon.
Oh, Nova, it's getting weirder and weirder. Things aren't as easy to explain anymore. It feels like something's going to happen.
Things are getting weirder and weirder. Things aren't as easy to explain anymore. It's like nothing's making any sense anymore.
Something bad.
Something's about to happen.
What do you think, Nova?
And he says, what do you think, Nova? And she flatlines. She dies. But this still gives me chills.
Nova?
Watch. Even though it's a cartoon.
Nibiru is coming.
So if you have not checked out this series, feel free to check it out. Alright, so peace, signing out. It is very, very. It's almost as though it's like it's almost as if this show reflects what we see happening, even though it's a Scooby-Doo cartoon. One of many incarnations, but many will say one of the best, and it was one of the better, well done. Besides What's New Scooby-Doo and the other one, the last one had a lot of comedy in it and slapstick. Even though it's animated, it had a lot of comedy, and it was some good one-liners, and it was good. And their modern movies are pretty good. But check it out. Check this episode out. I like Scooby-Doo anyway. Probably for nostalgia and bringing back childhood. But this right here hit the nail on the head for, as the old saying goes, for the ME. And it's almost like describing this phenomenon we were going to experience. And then in the end of the series, they shift realities, go to it, because their version of CERN basically opened up a portal. And they switched realities. The only way out was the only way to avoid that inevitable destruction of their other world. Their entire world that the Scooby-Doo gang was in got destroyed. The old world they were in, the old Earth, the old Crystal Cove, got destroyed in this series. And in the end, they wound up going through a portal to another version of their reality and playing it out as if nothing ever happened. So that's pretty deep and resonates to what we deal with on a regular basis. Peace, signing out. Just thought I'd share this, and I've wanted to for a long time. Just got around to it. Much love. My links are below if you'd like to show support. I'll also post 2 links below to both the Salvation Army and the Red Cross if you'd like to help out and donate to them during the holidays. And it's just a good thing to do. I donated earlier, even though I might not have much to give, and I didn't have much to give, but I just thought, you know what, I'm going to give. So I'll put the links below, and it's always good to help others out. It feels good to help, so I gave them some money, and I gave them $5, but hey, every little bit helps, and I'll put the links to them below. So happy holidays and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all that good stuff. Signing out. Give your thoughts on this because this is quite interesting.